billion, like Patrick said, but we're doing, somewhere we have the volume ready for like 20 or 30 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So might as well ahead and go get that ready, and then that's going. And it's just reliable, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of local governments talking about crypto, did you guys see that the mayor of New York, the new mayor, Eric Adams, he's come out as very crypto positive, which I live in New York, and very interesting to me because that was not something that he ran on. That's not a platform that he even mentioned at all when he was running. Then he gets elected, and pretty much the first thing he starts talking about is crypto. He wants it to be a crypto friendly city. He wants to create a coin. He wants to have a friendly rivalry with Miami. He wants to take his first 3 paychecks in Bitcoin. I mean, these things are really huge. And Eric Adams running as that moderate centrist candidate, but then coming out and saying he supports crypto in a big way is, I think, really, I think it kind of speaks to a lot of Americans, like, interest in crypto, but they don't know how exactly to get into it. And he may be one of the people that leads the way in the politics sector. What do you guys think about that?
I'll tell you what, that Crow commercial with Matt Damon gets me pretty damn hyped. Like I literally go buy some algo like right after watching that.
Wait, which commercial?
You haven't seen it? Like
No.
Matt Damon made a commercial for crypto.com.
Oh,
And
I
it, like
okay. I
it
heard he
gets
did
me
that, but I didn't see
hyped.
it.
It gets me hyped, bro. Like I literally watched it and go, you know what? I'm gonna go buy some damn algo now. Thank you, Matt Damon.
I thought the one with Tom Brady was pretty much mainstream. I haven't seen the Matt Damon one yet.
You know what you're
The
talking
Matt
about?
Damon one gets you hyped, bro.
Are you talking about the one with Tom Brady where he's on the beach and he throws the football into the moon and it explodes with coins coming out of it?
That was the second one. I think the first one he's like just chilling in his house with Giselle, and he's like, "Hey, should we tell everyone?" And then
Right.
they start making phone calls or something, and we're doing it. We're buying crypto.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
the Matt Damon one is like inspirational, dude. Like he's like talking, he's like brave men step into like brave new worlds. You know what I'm saying? And like he gets all like philosophical with it, and it gets you hyped. I'm not gonna lie.
You're like, yeah, future of finance, damn it. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
like freedom.
Liber
America.
Yeah, I mean, for real though, it seems like Eric Adams kind of embodies like a more middle of the road, economically libertarian. I mean, I know that's kind of the purpose of libertarianism, is that you're economically more laissez-faire. But he kind of, I just find it so fascinating that he didn't mention it at all during his campaign, because probably it would have been a point of contention. He would have gotten a lot of criticism for it in the classic talking points of people who are anti-crypto, and a lot of mainstream media. I'm not trying to sound like the lamestream media or anything like that, like trying to be a doomer, but they are pretty anti-crypto, I think. Especially like New York based publications. They focus a lot on the environmental downsides of it, the imbalance of it, but really a politician coming out and saying this is going to be a thing, and like there's no avoiding it, really kind of is one of the, for me, it seems like one of the most legitimizing agents that crypto has ever seen.
Yeah, and let's be honest, like it might have been like, political suicide to say, yeah, fuck Wall Street. Like let's talk about crypto. Like he would have lost a lot of that backing, I think,
Right.
early on, and Andrew Yang was already taking a bunch of heat for that, so he's like, nah, never mind. I'll sit on this till afterwards. The Yang Gang was strong with that though. But no, I applaud him, making that announcement, and I think that Austin, New York, especially, I want to hear about the NYC NFT stuff, and Miami, obviously, being, vying for that crypto town, moniker. I don't know where the hub is going to be, where it's going to settle, but very well could be New York. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, there's a lot of blockchain companies. out of Brooklyn right now. You know, AlgoFi's out of Brooklyn. I
I was
think
just gonna say AlgoFi, yeah.
AlgoFi, Avalanche, and Uniswap are all out of Brooklyn. Kind of becoming. I'm trying to coin the term blockchain Brooklyn. I think it could catch on. But I think,
I'm feeling
there's a bunch of different places. I think it's definitely over the next 5-10 years going to be interesting which city gives the most incentive for projects to move there.
What's weird about New York though is that it's at odds with the state government because, they're one of the stricter, financial regulations. I mean, and crypto lockdown. Like, there's a lot of folks who can't access, a bunch of services because they're in New York. So it's a weird, I don't know, dichotomy that you think got going on over there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, in New York, there's lawsuits against Tether. The crypto laws are pretty strict. The taxes are high. But, I think it's because New York is so entrenched in traditional finance that if they're going to adopt crypto, they're going to have to do it just bit by bit and peel back layer by layer instead of just trying to open the floodgates all at once, because it probably will be a bit too much to handle. Do you guys want me to tell you about NFT NYC?
Yeah, I'm dying to hear more.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
sure. And Chris
let's
was
hear
also
it.
there, so yeah, I mean, Chris was there too. I went to
But
two
hey, by the way,
events, really.
Ebu,
Yeah.
sorry I didn't have time to actually sit and chat with you. I saw you and then you disappeared.
No, it's fine. So, so I went to this event that was held by Algorand and Republic Realm and another company or something. It was in Midtown. First of all, got there, walking through Times Square. There's literally billboards, like the billboards in Times Square are just plastered with NFT projects, like all over. Join our Discord. Here's our characters, like more than you'd ever believe, right? Like, I mean, there's an unlimited supply of profile picture series, which I think is interesting that like the funding is getting high enough. Like these projects have gathered enough money that they can at least afford a Times Square ad, which is, probably like you can get one for a few thousand, but if you want it to be there all day, you're gonna need to spend like 10,000 or something. Which maybe in the crypto scheme of things isn't that. Yeah,
I've got stories for you too. The stuff that I've wandered into. It's nuts how much money people throw around.
Yeah, I'll go through my story real quick. So got to this party, saw Chris like the second I walked in. He didn't recognize me, so I had to reintroduce myself. And then no, but just for real though, he seemed Chris, you seemed a bit into like a conversation. I'm sure you were like making connections, meeting new people. Didn't want to take too much of your time because we already talk all the time. I'm sure at Decipher we can hang out. But it was still great to see you. And then just going around is interesting. There was so much talk about metaverse, so much talk about basically it seems like a huge rat race, maybe not a rat race, and drag race. I don't know, because it's not exactly rats, but people just many groups, many companies trying to break into that metaverse realm and be the number one player in that space. And so this party was hosted by Republic Realm, which is building their own metaverse. That's where I met David Garcia, the head of Borderless Capital. I traded him a hat for an Algowana. It's maybe the craziest trade I've ever made. And then I later on met Jeff Malco, who helps raise money in the Algorand ecosystem. Also had lunch with Kyle Wang the next day from Valhalla Capital. So that was really like the extent of my NFT NYC week, really meeting some Algorand people. It was very interesting. But I think, Chris, you probably went to more events than me. So what was your experience?
Well, first off, in Decipher, I'll buy you a beer for not giving enough time in NFT NYC.
Man, I'm not. Thank you, man. I'm not offended. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I learned a lot. Like everything that Evo said was true. I went to quite a few events. I mean, like pop stars are getting into it. Like social media, Twitter sites are getting into it. I went to one event, so like it kind of worries me. I'm not gonna lie that there's it feels very much like peak ICO 2017 vibes. I was there. Actually, I remember it was actually peak in NYC or peak 2017. I was actually at a conference in New York City, and it was exactly the same. One of the events that I went to literally had like there was maybe 100 people there, and they brought in two of the top DJs of the entire world just for those 100 people. And I can't understand the ROI on that at all. But like it's pretty nuts. Because that wasn't the only party like that. I went to another party that there's like people swinging from the ceilings in these hoops, and like it was bonkers, the excitement and everything around it. So there's a lot of love around NFTs. One of the things I did learn though is that the day of the dumb NFT is going away. People, the excitement around NFTs is actually less about the art and buying about the art. Because when I gone in there, I thought that was like really what people were like really relating to the art or whatever, and it seemed not to be that at all. And it was much more about communities and being part of something. And the thing that I really learned is that the NFTs are going to have to start doing more than just being art. They have to actually have some functionality. If they're give you some type of voting in a DAO, or they can be combined with other NFTs to actually give you different powers. This is the type of stuff that like the main collectors I was talking to are really looking at. And so that's super important for the NFT. And it like I said, it's very much around community. So much so that Shanti, who might actually be here listening, my head of operations, kind of inspired me into I'm gonna try to run a kind of an NFT experiment as soon as the new ABI spec from Algorand comes out, where I'm going to do a fair NFT launch that is a pure NFT DAO, where I'm going to have commission an artist to do enough art to do 1,000 NFTs procedurally generated, and they're going to be sold in a bonding curve, but 100% of the sales goes into a treasury that each one of the NFTs gives you one vote of what to do with that treasury. So even if you spend a lot of money on acquiring the NFT, that money goes into the treasury that you actually have a right to vote for what to do with it. So, and on top of that, the NFTs themselves can't be sold. They can't be actually transferred. What they can be, though, is they can be sold back to the DAO for your portion of that treasury. And what that means is somebody else can come in and buy that DAO to actually to replenish the treasury. I think it's going to be a fun experiment. See what it goes, and see like how the community kind of evolves out of that. It might crash and burn, who knows? But the main thing about it is that NFT One NYC. It's pure excitement. People are losing their minds, and the people are being glued together through the actual like camaraderie and like being part of something.
Yeah, definitely agree. The NFT itself is a ticket to the community, and I think that your idea sounds really compelling, especially the fact that you can't trade the NFT on a marketplace. It just has to be sold back into the DAO, which could create, a regenerative life cycle. But yeah, that's why when people hoard NFTs, it might kill some of the point of it, because if you can't expand the community, then you're not offering something compelling that another project might be offering. Another thing is that I think the NFT space is at a point right now where the large scale grand end game like plans are what's the focus, but the back end infrastructure hasn't been fully fleshed out yet. But sometimes you need the hype to exceed the reality, so then the reality has demand, and it can catch up to the hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm curious what some of the other speakers think of that. The NFT world getting really hype, really hot. Is it ready? I think many would agree no. Excuse me, no. The infrastructure isn't there, but the communities that are being built and the emotion is there. So what can developers make of that? Coming at that proposition, you have a hungry community that just needs something built around them for them to stay in.
I agree. I mean, if anything, this will just bring the community even more closer together. Add like more of a more brotherhood to it, and especially expanding it to God knows where. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I'm ready for it. I'm excited. NFT DAO.
Yeah, and I mean NFT NYC, crypto people love to party. That's just pretty apparent. So you just bring a bunch of people together. It kind of was. I mean, I'd never seen as many projects in my life. Uh, there's just so many NFT projects and series out there that I'm sure a few will get cold or like just die off, because how many communities can someone really be a part of actively? So I think that's when it comes into the question, like what are the real communities that have blue chip status because the other people involved in those are legit and they're valuable people with interesting opinions. That's really going to be the question that gives a series value or not. Like, who are the other holders more than just the quality of the art?
Yeah, it's less about the art, sadly. Like those are the one main thing that I learned is like the art. Sure, the art has to be cool, but it really also has to actually have more around it than just like the art.
I agree, but that doesn't mean that the art could be, exclusive or, to be diminished, I guess, because you've got some artists, that Christie's artwork, that piece that's coming up now that should be released. I think it's going to be like a $1 million package plus something along those lines. I think you'll still have those, those art pieces, but the communities that you're talking about, that's different. That's a series of NFTs, like, the Algoanas. As I roll out some of our NFTs, I got to think about community stuff too, and it's for a good cause to raise carbon credit funding. But I got to think about like online concerts, special features for holders. They get additional access to behind the scenes footage and additional like interview stuff. We got to hold events, and all of that stuff. Like 6 months ago, it wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Like Algobots and Yieldings came out, and they didn't have to think about how am I going to build a community. They just threw together a Telegram channel, and that was that. And it was cool, it still is. But to compete now, you're right. You got to go to that extra layer and do something more. And who's going to do the NFTs in gaming? Chris, you still got that bounty out there? How are we going to get an Android game that's like Clash of Clans style?
Oh, don't you worry. There's lots of games coming. I mean, Algorand themselves just put out a grant to bring in many more games. But I've been actually on a marathon. So I was at NYC NFT for NFT and NYC, whatever it is, for 4 days, and then I flew down to Florida to Tampa for another conference. So I'm down in Florida right now. And one of the things I learned while I was down here is that that NFTs. So like back in like the early 2000s and before, status symbols were a thing, like gold bracelets or gold watches, like fast cars, things of that sort. And they kind of went away. It kind of got like cringe, like in the early 2010s, or like late 2009, whatever. But one of the things that's actually coming back now because of NFTs is NFTs as a status symbol, where you'll start having like people are buying these $1 million NFTs to display on their watch, to display on their website, to display on their PFP, and it's like a status symbol now, and that's really unique as well.
Yeah, I agree that the PFP flex is like one of the main like things about NFTs.
And I think as more of real physical life becomes integrated with digital technology. Like Chris, you mentioned watches. I never had even thought of that. You can take your NFT and put it up on your Apple Watch, and then you go to one of these parties, and if people see your watch, they see your Algobot or your CryptoPunk or your Bored Ape, and that can be another way, like wearable art. I think we're going to see so much more of that as NFTs continue to grow. It'll just be interesting how developers and builders are going to let people express themselves, and like show the NFT, show their community that they're part of as much as possible.
Yeah, just think about it. It's pretty funny that, back in the day, someone like come to a party with like a blinged out watch, diamonds, everything, and you wonder, like, are those real diamonds? Now people are going to come into a party with an Apple Watch with like a CryptoPunk and be like, do they really own that CryptoPunk?
Very true. Very true. So, if we can switch the topic real quick, I would love to chat about all this. I don't even know what to call it, just activity via TinyMan and TinyChart, which is a website that's come up that tracks some any pool on TinyMan that has over $500 of liquidity gets listed on TinyChart, right? And so I guess the main thing to say, if anyone isn't aware, is that there's a meme token called Akita Inu that kind of blew up with like $10 million market cap out of nowhere. It's 2021. I don't think anyone should be surprised, but I guess I was still a little surprised because I always considered the Algorand community to have this air and this aura of maturity. We're not gonna, we don't like those meme coins. We're here for utility. And then literally a meme coin drops and everyone just apes into it. So I thought it was pretty funny. And now, there's coins dropping every few minutes, basically.
Not everyone.
Not everyone, but like, I mean, I saw a lot of people that, I respect very much in this community talking about it. And I think it's just like, it's a vehicle for publicity and a vehicle to just introduce people in a fun way. That's kind of what meme coins do. I personally don't see a problem with it. I think people should just manage risk and not like put their whole life savings into it if they want to buy it. But it's really not about that one coin. It's more about the economy on TinyMan is like, kind of growing. It's just budding. And people are just finding these new tokens and like, all right, screw it. Baby car. I'm looking at the list right now. Newest coins called Baby Dogecoin, Algo NFT Inu, Baby Cardano, Blapu. Like, what are these? It's just I think it's just gamification of trading, right?
So I don't know if I personally I see meme coins gathering people's attention. But one of the things that people forget about is the only way that for somebody to make money, it requires somebody to lose money. So as much as like people are like, coming in and making a lot of money, that means there's that many people losing money at the same time. So it's there's as much good happen as bad in these meme coins when they're purely there for the joke.
Yeah, it's just extreme Ponzi-omics, and if you're gonna do it, treat it as gambling because it's essentially what it is, just casino time on TinyMan.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, Cody. You nailed it. I was going to say that it is a gamble. It's literally a gamble. If someone is to buy into one of these meme coins, it's a game. It's a game of chicken. It's a digital game of chicken. Who's gonna buy first and who's gonna sell first and who's gonna sell last and be left holding a bag. I mean, I've kind of messed around, thrown 10 algo into a few different coins. Some of them go crazy. Some of them get rugged and you lose the algo. But like, it's more just like, I did it for speculation with something I can afford. But I think it's just, it's really interesting. But there's now tokens popping up trying to imitate projects. Chris, when you launch your decks, you have to assume that there's going to be a lot of this happening. And then, like, how does that make you feel as someone who's creating a platform for it?
You trying to cut me deep, or what's going on right now?
No, I'm just saying, if you make a DEX, this is going to happen, right?
I mean, like, yes. I mean, the whole idea of a decentralized DEX is that it's not me that is actually dictating everything. It's P2P. So people have the power to do what they want to do completely without my say or anything of that sort. My say, though, is that I feel bad for people to get scammed. I always will, and will always point out where I think scams are. But people have the power to do what they want to do. That's the whole idea of decentralization, and that's why it's they exist, is because people have the right to do what they want to do with their own money when they want to do it. So yeah, it will happen. I personally will always point out where scams are and try to help as much as possibly can, but people have the right to do what they want with their own money.
Long story short, Chris is a dictator. That's what he's trying to say in plain English. You guys didn't understand. I'm translating for him. He controls the whole entire DEX. But yeah, that's great. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, to clarify, Jeff, I actually control the entire world. So
I
All
apologize.
hail Chris.
I just want to say I missed out on the barcade and NFT NYC. How'd that go? I whiffed on that.
it was actually a lot of fun. It was actually a lot different than every other party that I went to. Every other party was like a rave or like just people like blasting music, and this was, beers and arcade games and just good conversations.
Yeah, I got sucked into this dinner party with some friends in the city, and I was like, damn, I need to go to this barcade, but they got me, unfortunately.
No worries, there'll be plenty more. And that's one thing that I told everybody on the team is, if I ever make the suggestion that we bring in a DJ and a bunch of like loud music, slap me. So that's it's definitely not our scene.
Well, what are we doing in Miami then? I'm confused.
You want DJs and dancing? That's Reach isn't going to provide that for you. I promise you
Wrong
that.
door, sir. Go to door number 2.
Reach will provide the chamber quartet with the violin, cello, flute, and French horn in the mansion, the governor's mansion.
And it will actually, I will play them all like one of those, old timey like one man band things.
I do want to bring up, is anyone excited about the new liquidity staking that will be happening on Yieldly soon?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Can you tell us a bit about the details?
Well, essentially, they're working with TinyMed now, so you'll be able to grab your liquidity pool stakings on certain pools and bring and stake them on Yieldly for an extra APY.
Will the rewards be in Yieldy, or will it be in the actual token?
I imagine it depends on what pool you're doing with. I imagine that they'll be working with their staking partners, supplying, whatever token you want to whatever pool to, make up for whatever impermanent loss that you, experience.
Cool. Yeah, the decks are working. I will also have that functionality.
I'm glad that they put that warning in for larger transactions if you've got more than 5% slippage or something like that. I think that was a good call. But having Yieldly do this should minimize that, because the pools will be larger now, and you're less likely to have that major slippage, I think.
Yes, these are the kind of things that's going to help make Algo just more liquid altogether. And it's exciting to hear Chris will have that in his decks as well, because that's just going to incentivize more people.
It's super important. The other feature that we're gonna release at launch or soon after is limit buys and sells as well.
Ooh, that's going to be a good feature.
Is anybody else going to Decipher a day early? I think we're going to be there on Saturday, as a matter of fact. I don't know if there's any events going on Saturday, official or unofficial, but if not, we should make one.
I'll be in like Pensacola on Saturday. That's where, like, it's me and my girl are just gonna drive there because it's not that far. and then I'll be in Miami Sunday, and then I promised I would show her Miami, and then I'm like, neck deep in Decipher after that.
Yeah, I'll be there
I
on
have,
Saturday. Saturday night.
I have
Yeah, I'm
no
there
idea what day
Friday.
I'll be there.
We should definitely play it by ear, but we could have like a loose ad hoc, gathering just like to kick it off, get everybody networking, meeting each other, hanging out. And then on Sunday, people were talking about we should have one of these Sunday chats like in person, stream it. I think that's an amazing idea and it would be really fun. So, what do you guys think of that?
I'm
Down for
down.
sure.
I'm bringing all the equipment, and so we can live stream. I've got I can live stream on multiple channels
Right.
if we're live, so we can do simulcast. I think that would be sweet.
And you're gonna
I,
have
I
an
if we did
Airbnb,
it
right?
maybe a,
Yeah.
if we did it maybe a little later, I'd definitely be down. You know.
Yeah, we can coordinate, but if Monty has an Airbnb, we can pull up there and stream it. I think that'd be pretty cool. Just like it
Yeah.
would be so cool to like I don't know, the evolution of this Sunday call is just it could become something great. Could become something really great.
It's already something great.
It
Something
already
greater.
is. From nothing to something, from nothing to something. From 0 to 1.
All right, guys, I want to take a minute here to celebrate that Shanti here is here, my head of operations, and listening. She's this is her first step into the crypto degen world to be an influencer. So make sure you all say hi to her.
Hi.
Welcome aboard.
Hello.
Welcome. What does she help you with Reach?
She is my she keeps my chaos organized is what she is. She's the head of operations, so she's responsible making sure that everybody is running at peak optimization. We're at almost 30 people right now. Can you guys believe that?
Wow. Amazing growth. I remember a few months ago it was 10. I think it was like early August. It was like 9 people.
Yeah, no, we're growing quite fast.
Been growing fast, man. That's dope.
Did you find your
Congratulations.
community manager yet? I know you got that. You had that job posting forever.
No, I have not. Shanti, we haven't found it yet, but no, not yet.
Well, somebody on here should step up.
Yeah, man. Being a community manager is a pretty exciting job in the Algorand ecosystem right now. There's so much demand for projects, for info. Like people from all over the world come into the AlgoFi group chat, and it's quite exciting. So if anyone wants that job, you should definitely
Yeah.
think about it.
Speaking of which, Chris, on Friday night we have the NFT chat, and somebody from the ETH community was asking about Solidity, and I was telling him one of your guys was in there. He was talking about how Reach helps, programming language, etc. I need to brush up on my dev side understanding and comprehension, but yeah, it was good. People were helping out in that chat also.
Amazing.
I'm trying to think who it was from your team. Damn, I need to look through it. He had a Mingo, I think. So whoever that is.
It was probably Keegan.
Keegan, right? Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, he's one of the devs on our specialty product team. He's one of the devs working on the decks, actually.
That's a good Twitter space, by the way. I try and jump in there. This last time I was driving back and forth, so I couldn't chime in a bunch. But that's a good space you got going on Fridays.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Algorand and D4 were in there last week, and I'm enjoying it and really getting like the people from Solana or Ethereum or from whoever else other communities to learn about Algorand NFTs. But I want to ask the cipher for Tuesday. What is the schedule going to be? Is it going to be a morning thing or is it run into the evening? Anybody know?
I think I saw that it was done at like 3:30 or 4 or something like that, so people could head out in like late afternoon and catch flights.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, you guys know there's a Art Basel is right after it,
I
right?
know I'm out though. I can't. I can barely
Yeah.
make it. So
I'm actually staying for an extra day and a half after the conference. Conference is Monday and Tuesday, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm staying till Thursday midday. So we can also maybe do like a recap something on Thursday or on Wednesday. We'll see. We'll see. We'll probably have crazy news by then, so we could even do like a midweek call.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be there all week long.
Nice. Do you guys want to talk about Opulus?
Yeah.
Is there anything to talk about yet?
Yeah, they had a pretty big week. They announced this giveaway where they were using their token as a raffle ticket, basically, to win a trip to Paris, where you hang out with Lil Pump and you go see the Mona Lisa, because the song they released on Opulus, which came out this week, I believe, it raised 500,000. It like smashed through the expected sale. Pretty sure it sold out fully, maybe oversold even. And because of this giveaway, or the hype generation or something, it caused the token price to go up significantly as well, which I think it's not really about the price, but it brought a good amount of attention to Opulus and music NFTs. I just thought it was a big week for Opulus, and I think they came out of these past few weeks hyping up this song, like doing the first drop. I think it turned out to be a big success for them.
I'm curious, does anybody know the value of a song and whether or not, like, how do we know this one's going to be a hit? So that 500,000 that they raised was 50% of the royalties. The other royalties are still retained by the team. And so there's $1 million valuation on this one song, and I just don't know enough to invest in that and be like, okay, I'm going to get my money back. I mean, at this point, I think it would have to do really well just to get my lunch money back. So I just don't know enough about the mechanics and the economics of how that industry works and what a good song is going to have a return on. And I don't think it involves like live performances or other aspects that they might make money off of that song. I think it's just royalty off that one song, not just I don't know if he does a performance and he plays that song at a concert. Are we making money? I just don't know.
Well, being someone in the music industry, I have a bit of knowledge about this. I'm pretty sure the royalties will come from either streams, or if the holders get lucky, they'll get the song into an ad or something like that, or get it played, like the NBA will license it, put it on some like promos. That's how you really get the song popping off. But the streaming revenues per stream, Spotify just slashed it again. It's at all-time lows basically. So the amount that someone earns from a stream is quite low. And I can even look it up, but pretty sure that song would probably have to stream close to, if the song is valued at $1 million right now. And I don't know the buy-in, but I don't know how much people paid to get a slice of those revenues. But I would think you'd probably have to do close to 500 million to 1 billion streams for like it to be lucrative. Because you get about like 0.0005 cents per stream or something like that. It's really low. I think that Opulus really is missing an opportunity by not bringing their service to small artists. They should bring this same idea, but give it to a budding artist who can't raise money for marketing. They'd have no idea. They don't have backing. They don't have funding. If they sell half their music rights to 5 of their friends for $100 each, now each of their friends have 10% of the song. And if the song does decently, they'll actually make good money. And then the artist can use that fund that they raised to push the song, go to marketing, make a music video, something like that. I don't think that Lil Pump and Soulja Boy really need the 500,000. So I think, even though I like Opulus and the idea, I think they should really pivot it toward more of a grassroots thing to help young artists or like budding artists, rather than like just being a tool for artists to basically front run having to make money off streams and just make money up front. And they kind of are leaving the fans with the bag, because the song is going to have to do huge numbers for the fans to break even at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a PR move, right?
Evo, I'm not sure. Like, I think that we need to be very specific with the returns that the people that actually hold this will get, because I'm not sure if like licensing is actually part of this.
Again, I think that would have to circle back to Opulus. I think a criticism I have for them is that they haven't been exactly fully transparent on how these royalties are working, how much people are spending, how much they're going to make, guarantees or not. Like I said, it does feel like a way that these decently popular artists can earn money up front on the song and kind of just set and forget on the streams, because now their fans are going to be the ones expecting huge numbers for the streams. Though you can flip it and say now the fans have an incentive to push the song, but that's you know what I mean. It's kind of like towing the line between, little bit of shadiness, I would say. Just like that's not really like respectful to the fans if they're going to buy something and it doesn't have a return that's like worth it.
So Evo, you know, one of the things I'm probably most upset about just in crypto in general is hidden information. Like,
yeah,
and this goes from everything from the code to the actual like how things work. And I always have a pit in my stomach when I don't fully understand things. And like, I worry about a lot of this.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think it's a great idea that they have, though. I personally, I just don't think it's needed for artists who are already established. It's way more useful for artists who aren't established, who can actually go to their friends and family and say, "Look, if you like my music and you believe in me, take a percentage of the royalties, like for a sale, and then we can all come up together. I can use this money to try to grow my brand and my song and my whatever further." But if you're already a big artist, like Lil Pump, Soulja Boy, they already have multi-million-dollar deals, already signed to big labels. They're not exactly the guys who need this upfront cash. So I really think that even though it's their first song, maybe it's proof of concept, maybe they're testing it out. So then later down the line, investors in Opulus can say, okay, it's a good idea to go more grassroots. But I definitely see where you're coming from, Chris, that it's too unclear. I didn't personally get involved in the song sale because I just thought it was too unclear. And also, we don't know exactly what their token's going to be used for. It doesn't have a utility yet. So it's also, you could say it's a speculator's tool. And I just looked it up that Spotify pays 0.003 cents per stream. So you're going to have to stream millions or hundreds of millions of times for people to make decent money.
Yeah, let me
I
just
think you're right.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I think you're right about the proof of concept, because I think I read that they're, downstream on their roadmap, they will be going grassroots. And this is kind of just to
Agreed.
get, the hype and like proof of concept. And, if there is things that are hidden and it doesn't work out good, somebody else is going to do it better. So the idea
Exactly.
is great.
I think this is like a case study. That's what it is. It's like they're trying to like work through that whole entire process from A to Z to onboard new artists. And
Right.
I think that's really what it's going for. I haven't spoken to the team directly, but I spoke to some other people involved, and I think that's kind of the idea. Like they are working through this. They want to work out the kinks, and then they're going to roll it out to a broader spectrum of people.
Well, number one, always be careful about talking to people not involved, because that level of abstraction can mean that they can say whatever they want to say. But the other thing that you need to actually, I don't know if you've seen yet, but I think I can actually officially talk at least about them, is Dequency. And that's a really big deal in the licensing space. And they for sure are grassroots and have a experience in the entire licensing industry. They've been around for 20 years, and they're coming into the decentralized space, and they're going to get at Decipher as well.
Which company is that?
Dequency.
Dequency.
Yep.
Interesting.
It's gonna be a pretty big deal. I'm not sure exactly what I can say because I'm trying to remember exactly what they've said yet, but yeah, so it's Dequency. It's decentralized music licensing. They specialize in the like when companies buy the license to use music. That's what their entire business is, and that's going to be fully decentralized. And they're building in the entire social aspect and things of that sort. Okay, look, someone just posted a thing with Dequency. It's a big deal. They're going to be in Miami, and they're going to be talking a lot more about it then.
Yeah, I linked it.
I've got a quick question.
Me too.
Does Opulus, is it only the publishing rights that you're buying? Because there's a lot of parts to the actual rights to music that I know a lot of people that own actually books of music, and the publishing rights are a lot different from the writer's rights. Has Opulus explained what part of the rights you're buying?
Yeah, see, I think again, I've done a bunch of research into them, and it's still something that I find difficult to comprehend. I think they could afford to be a lot more transparent about how everything's working. So I honestly, Danny, I don't know what, if you're buying publishing rights or licensing rights or trademark on the song, or I don't know.
Yeah, publishing rights never exceed half of the actual rights of the song. So what I'm beginning to think is that you're buying half of the song with your fractionalized share. And if that's the case, it's definitely not, in my opinion, a lucrative investment. And if it hasn't been detailed by Lee or the Opulus team, that's something to think about.
Can I just? Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's be honest. Like, streaming revenue is the least lucrative part of the music industry by far. It's a complete wash. The companies Spotify, Apple Music totally have 100% control over what you get paid, and so I think that's why I'm not like the biggest fan of the current iteration of Opulus, because it does feel a bit like they're pawning off the least lucrative part of the process to the fans, and instead being able to raise $500K up front on the song.
I did just get some clarification. It is 50% of the master rights and 50% of the publishing rights that got released to the public, and that includes streaming, TV broadcast, public performance, downloads for like iTunes, Amazon, whatever, radio broadcast, and sync, which is like video games apparently.
Wow, so it's across the board, huh?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. That is a little more. I've actually had conversations with Lee a few times. He's been on the channel, and I've interviewed him. The most interesting portion to me was the early on. He didn't talk so much about NFTs. He talked early on about DeFi. And it was all about the DeFi lending for artists who wanted to, borrow against their future royalties. Same idea he did with the SNFT, but I don't think the SNFT is going to work for the smaller artists. I like the DeFi angle of it, which at the time included Opulus, the token. So the token had some utility then. I don't know if he's veered away from that, but definitely like on the mainstream media, he hasn't been pushing that so much. He's been pushing the brand names.
So let me ask this question. You guys know about the Taylor Swift, what happened with her and how she didn't have her masters. She basically went back and re-recorded her music to, like, I guess, get as a loophole. I mean, would that be something that these artists could pull off as well, where they could take the music and re-record it and do another version, and that would count? Like, I'm just curious to how those dynamics work, if that makes sense.
I think they definitely could do that. I think with Taylor Swift, it works better because she has a huge fan base that loves her, will eat up anything she puts out. And she also has a type of music that can stand the test of time, and it's more acoustic, more singy, more ethereal. So she can do an old version and then do a new version. I don't think that Lil Pump, I heard the snippet of the song. I don't think they're going to be able to revisit it down. Like, also they would need to wait a certain amount of years for that even to be like acceptable. It's not like they can, it's not like they would just remake the song immediately. That would be that'd basically be a rug pull.
Yeah, I'm just trying to extrapolate from now to like in the future what the possibilities are,
Ebu, are you a Tay-Tay fanboy or what?
I'm not a Tay Tay fanboy. I'm actually not. I'm not a huge fan, but I mean, believe me, I meet a new Taylor Swift fan every day. Like they make it so known that they love Taylor Swift, and so that's why I know she has a huge fan base. My dad doesn't listen to music at all, and Taylor Swift's his favorite artist.
I got a quick question on an older topic.
I have a,
This is for Chris. As far as like community managers, what does that entail?
Hi guys.
Wait, what was the question?
Just saying, like as far as the community manager that you're looking for, what does that entail?
So community manager is a kind of the reason why it's actually difficult to find is because the community manager that we're looking for is more than a manager of community, and they're really like job title should be director of retention. So it's community is one of the main parts of it, but it's also building the entire story and having a lot of experience working with dev communities and things of that sort.
I gotcha. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, about this Opulus case, 500,000. That sounds really good. I think with 1,000, I would be really, really happy. I could record my Algo Samba song that I made it with my friends in Rio de Janeiro, and make also a video clip. It's a samba song just to promote the blockchain. I hope you all have watched the demo song that we recorded with the phone. You are really low profile. We don't have money, but we have creativity, we have music, etc. And we have 4 artists already that is doing 2 or 10 day NFTs to help this project to go further. Have 2 other artists. One will start the NFT tomorrow. The other one I'm waiting. So this will be the first Algorand promotion song. It talks about Opulus, promotes Tiniman, promotes AB2, talks about the trilemma. So I left I post just the letters with an NFT in the song recorded with the phone on my tweet pinned message. So if anyone wants to hear the samba song and see what they say, welcome. And also I'll be launching the NFT soon. I will ask the help for the community to support just pushing one NFT or anyway 5 or 10 or I don't know, but with one, if anyone puts one, I will raise this funds to record this Algo Samba music. Yes.
Congrats on making the new song, man.
Yeah, I heard you do a little bit of it the other day. Make sure you tag me when you put your post out on Twitter or something, and I'll retweet, and I'm sure a couple other folks will too.
You are the job you are doing really good, man. I watch all your videos. I'm the first one, and put like is really interesting. Be updated by your videos. It's really good. Thank you for support.
Thanks for watching.
If I can say something, I think that I like what Lee Parsons is doing, but I feel like on social media he's a bit I don't know. He made this tweet that said, I'm not selling, but I'm happy all my friends and family are going to have a great Christmas. Like, I don't know. It just seems weird. Like, I don't know what that could mean besides like he's telling his friends and family to sell. I mean, it's not like they can go to the store and use Opulus. So I feel like he's talking too much about the token and like the token going up in price. I feel like it's a bit inappropriate.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he's definitely throwing off some Justin Sun vibes, right?
Yeah, right. It's not like he's saying anything wrong, or I don't know the legality of it. But I just think it's a little weird when the CEO of a company starts talking about like their governance token pumping and like hyping it up. Like, I don't know. It just seems a bit like come on, man. Like, you're supposed to be the neutral one on this, right?
I mean, isn't the official Algorand Reddit philosophy do not talk about prices? I guess that's what you're going for. Like, forget about the price. Don't mention the floor, whatever. I mean, just focus on the project, right?
I mean, kind of anyone can speak about price, but when it comes to the CEO of the company, it's his token and he created it and he's the one getting hype about it. Like he sounds like, one of the kids on crypto Twitter that's hype about a coin going up. Like, I don't know, it just seems a little like
Can
it's
I
like yeah.
can I address the elephant room? Have we talked about the meme coins? Did I miss that conversation or?
Yeah, we
Or
talked
we're not?
about him for a
Oh, we
while.
Just
did.
a
All right,
little
all
bit,
right. Just
yeah.
checking. All right, we don't have to revisit that. Then we're good.
I'm really happy that things are starting to become very electric, on Algorand with the dexes or with the one dex that's like, it's starting to enable that. And I think like once more DeFi projects come along, it'll just compound on top of that. And that's really exciting. Um, you know, people in the Algorand community are getting those chances that other people in other communities got, to make stupid returns on a stupid thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing for engagement. It's a good thing for attention. But I think when it's like an official project like Opulus, like the CEO doesn't personally need to like talk about
Yeah.
tweet about the price every 20 minutes. Like,
Yeah, I just want to say that all disclaimer and all not financial advice, etc. I bought some of the meme coin and I sold it. But let me just say like this. I would say that if you look at the situation, these Doge and Shiba or whatever, it's like people they went in on it on other chains, and I was like, wow, this is ridiculous. I don't do that. Do not do that. Nobody do that. I told everybody that like for months, for the last like I guess year. I told them, guys, don't buy that stuff. And, they all got rich off it. So I felt really stupid telling them don't do it because I didn't understand it. I still don't understand it. But this is the thing. If you go inside that Discord, I don't want to say the name of it, you will never see more people join the Discord faster in your life than in that meme coin Discord. I was like, damn, man, like all these beautiful projects exist. They don't get enough attention. Meme coin, millions of people joining the Discord. It doesn't even make any sense. So look, it's a double-edged sword. The negative is it's a shitcoin. The positives, it's bringing a lot of people to the Algorand ecosystem. So I really don't know how to feel about it at this point. I'm kind of like torn.
As someone who's done well with it, I'm very happy. But on your point, it's brought so many people to Algorand. The meme will bring them here, the utility and the
Yeah,
tech will make them stay.
I
So,
made
I
the same
mean,
argument. Yeah, for Doge. Hey,
Yeah, 100%.
Doge was the first thing people got into crypto with. They did good or bad, but they learned about crypto. Now
yep.
people are figuring out Tiny Man. They're learning about our DEX. They're introduced to Algorand as there's no gas or mint fees. There's no slippage. It's amazing. It's something totally different. And I hope they'll stay.
All in all, I think it'll
Well,
be good.
there's definitely slippage, bro.
I mean,
There's
relative
definitely
to
slippage.
whatever else. You get it back. But it's good.
Yeah, the slippage is pretty bad because if I tried to cash out right now, I don't get everything that I
Yeah, but
technically should.
you could set the tolerance, and then you could also get like redemption on the back end, right? Once you finish transaction, so it's pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, that's what.
Well, that that'll be fixed when Chris gets his decks running, and there's going to be limit sale orders, stuff like that.
They don't put that pressure on me.
Oof. Guys, don't talk directly to Chris. Speak to his community manager before speaking to him.
I would say, of course, Jordan, if you made off like a bandit with the meme coin, yeah, you're going to be happy about it, right? And I'm sure like people who are in this chat probably early on stuff like that. Some of them may have made out. Chris made a good point earlier. Someone always is on the losing end of the trade, the person who comes last. But I think overall, the good thing is to even participate in this game of pumping and dumping these shit coins, that people have to actually buy algo and bring it into the ecosystem, bring it off the exchange and put it on Tiny or keep it in their wallet, use it on Tiny Man. It increases exposure. It increases TVL. Maybe not so much, but it starts a network effect. People understand how to use an algo wallet. It's stuff like that that can be the catalysts for when more DeFi projects launch. People already have algo in their algo wallet, and they're like, well, okay. Chris's Dex just came out, try something out. Folks Finance just came out, try it out. stuff like that. I think it's definitely a good thing overall. And if you see the prices, like I'm just gonna say, if you're looking at a shitcoin chart and you see the prices high, just don't even buy it. Like, just don't even buy it. You should have already been in it, and if you didn't get in it in like the first few minutes, it's literally not even
He
worth
is
the money.
100% correct. 100% correct. Because I got in 4 days ago. I just was really lucky that I saw it, and I was like, well, I'm not missing a Doge or Shiba again. To Jeff's point, I told all my friends never buy them, and here I am making off like a bandit off a shitcoin.
I feel you.
Can't beat them. You got to join them. You just got to get people to algo. It's like driving a Tesla. You drive a Tesla and you're like, holy shit, I'm never driving my Malibu again.
Yeah, I have this disconcerting feeling within inside of me saying that, listen, if these meme coins can bring more people to Tesla to Algorand, I'm happy about it. But it's still I feel dirty inside. But that's just me.
What I think, as community leaders in this chat, in this call, we need to make sure that the meme coin hype doesn't outpace the real good things being built, right? Like, we don't want Algorand to be fully just known as just another chain where people can make any coin they want and buy in. It's like everything has that. Every chain has the DEX that you can do that on. But I think we have to make sure that like the attention doesn't fully become focused on shit coins and meme coins. Let them. There's communities being built around these now. Let them be. But I made one tweet about it, and that's all I'm going to say, right? And that was really just to show people, look, like something's happening here. There's people like getting excited about random stuff. Like, we haven't seen this before on Algorand, but we really the focus really has to like circle back around to the real projects coming, and there's so many projects coming in December and January.
So like,
Yeah,
I was in there.
agree. I was just gonna say I got a ton of DMs about this. They're like, "Hey, Crypto Nerd, are you gonna talk about this? You're gonna make a video about it?" And I'm really torn. Like, do I make a video about this and potentially perpetuate this and raise awareness, or do I just kind of like you? He would just kind of make one tweet about it and just kind of let it do its own thing.
One thing that I would like to add here is, as a BSC scam, so we don't have yet like an app to check all the contracts, right? Like, we have you have the chart where you can see the holders. That is something, but to see if the ownership of the contract is rejected, or for how long the liquidity is blocked, or if it's a copy contract, etc., to check a rug check. We don't have that in Algorand yet, right?
Well, keep in mind these are ASAs, so they can't. There's no rug. There's no contract. It's native layer one object. So the only thing they could do is if there's a clawback address, then there's things they could do there. Although there are legitimate uses for clawback, but a lot of these tokens, if they don't have clawback, they can't rug the coin itself. What they can do is they can just mint a billion of them, put all billion in a liquidity pool and put up 100 algo in exchange, and basically it's worth almost nothing. Convince people to buy into their pool, and then their 100 algo as matching against their billion coin or whatever. Enough people buy into it, then they just withdraw the entire pool. So they can rug it, in that sense, in the sense that they are all the liquidity, and they can pull all the they can just dump it all and pull back whatever algo got put in, but they can't rug the coin itself because there's no contract involved. It's native layer one.
Yeah. To jump in, Patrick, you basically started. That's almost exactly something I was going to say. Talk about the liquidity rug. So that's like Patrick was saying. The only what people do is that you need $500 worth of. I'm in the Telegram and the Reddit for Tiny Chart. Trying to find out all the info. And what I found out was the developer says if you have $500 of like TVL in a liquidity pool, and you if it just sits there for like a few hours, eventually it'll just pop up on Tiny Chart. Then it pops up on Tiny Chart, and people are hunting for the newest coins because you can sort by how long they've been listed. So bam, new coin lists, people jump in, and then people just wait for a bunch of transactions to rack up, wait for the price to go up, and then just pull the liquidity. I mean, that's pretty common. It's not really like surprising. The problem is, I think now the coins stay on Tiny Chart indefinitely, even though they will have a liquidity of like 25 cents. So now there's all these shit coins that are kind of bogging up the site with like it's
Is
really
that
hard
why
to.
there's so many blank ones? I was trying to figure
Yeah,
that out.
yeah, that's why there's so
Oh,
many
okay.
blank ones, because, or stuff that it says it's gone up 50 trillion% in the past hour. If you click on it, it has like it has a liquidity of $1, and like no one's been able to trade it. You can't even do anything. So it kind of like it mucks up the site, right? Because now you don't know, like, you don't even know if you want to like jump in on something. First of all, people need to be very careful. Don't ever buy something that has like very low liquidity. It's it's very easy for someone to just pull it. It's interesting stuff. But I say, like, Tiny Chart is a cool site, and I think it's great that people are building apps and projects using like the SDKs and APIs of different like established DeFi projects. But it's two guys working on Tiny Chart. They don't really have the bandwidth to fix everything, so people need to be really careful about how they use the site.
It might be unwanted, but just to talk about these fake kind of scam coins, I think a lot of us are probably feel the same way. Like I am kind of torn to a certain extent. People, if you bring people to Algorand that normally wouldn't have come to Algorand, and they experience how good of a chain it is, like, I think overall that's good for the chain. You look at 2017 with Ethereum, it exploded basically with shitcoins. And I think it's just beholden on us to kind of warn people of the scam opportunity. And some of these coins, there's just no question, absolutely whatsoever. You look at them and they are 100% plain and simple intended to be like scams, no question whatsoever. Like you can, like, I think it's worth kind of pointing that out and calling them out when you see that. And some are just people just trying to have fun, throwing stuff out there and maybe trying to make a little money off it. Okay, I guess. It kind of runs the gamut. And some of these things like Shiba, it makes no sense. It's literally just a coin, and in the top 10, it's just insane. So I mean, it's easy. It's easy to say, oh, these are complete garbage. Don't touch them. But it's hard to say that with a straight face while you have complete garbage that's a top 10 coin.
And yeah, I 100% agree with you. And that goes back to my conversation yesterday. I was discussing this with the chat, and I said, look, like, I want to dismiss Shiba and Doge, but it's like they're worth billions of dollars. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. There's no utility, doesn't do anything. It's like, well, how does it make sense in this world that that's better? It's a higher market cap than Algorand. And then, I mean,
Doge is at least a chain, right? Shiba is just an ERC20. That's it.
Exactly. Like at least Doge holds its own network and can actually have like some utility with Litecoin network.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
true.
But like
the SEC will come in and protect us soon. Don't worry.
So I convinced the CEO of Dequincy to come on here. So hopefully he will jump in as a speaker to talk about what Dequincy actually is.
But on Patrick's point, I'd love to hear
Nice.
about that. Patrick, on your point, if it brings more people into the Algorand ecosystem, I kind of have a hard time really punching down at them so hard. That's kind of that's the, I guess it's catch 22 or double-edged sword. I don't know what the word is.
And don't forget, speaking of total value a lot, right? For every ASA, you're adding 0.1 minimum balance locked per account for everyone who touches it. So yeah, bring it on, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to justify it, so keep on coming with that. I guess I'll use that psychologically.
Hey,
and not only that, a percentage gets locked in Tiny Man's treasury as well too. So
is it
it's
like,
just
what
open the door.
It's like 5%, it's like 5% or something, isn't it?
It's less than that. It's like it's like zero. It's 0.05%.
Got it. Hey, Maze brought up. I don't know if anyone's with Tiny Man's here, but is Tiny Man working with like CoinMarketCap and places like that to provide like an API feed for tokens?
I imagine they are. I think they have to hit a certain level before they could be considered like a full exchange listing, you know. Um, but I'm sure they're working on that. I am excited about the partnership they're making with Yieldly. That's beyond bullish.
I've not heard that. What's the scoop?
And during the LA Blockchain Summit, Seb announced that you could be able to take your liquidity pool tokens from Tiny Man and stake them on Yieldly.
Interesting. Plot thickens.
So let's say I'm providing liquidity for Yieldly Algo. I have liquidity pool tokens, and then I bring those to Yieldly and earn yield on them? How? Earning yield on you?
Yeah,
Double dip.
they're double dipping,
That
my
is a
dude.
double dip, yeah. Cody, I guess I have a question for you because Yieldly provides so much staking rewards, really high APYs for the different coins. Do you think it's a double-edged sword because they're providing so much inflation that the value of the token individually is having a hard time appreciating?
Well, that's where this liquidity pool staking will really come in handy because like Uni inflated their supply like fast. I'm talking about really fast. But the way they incentivized it was through all the liquidity pool staking. And all that liquidity makes it hard for anyone to really, the more liquidity that's in there, the harder it is for bears to, dump the market because, there's so many people ready to buy. And
Well,
this is going to be
Cody,
something.
that's not 100% true for all of the actual coins because it really depends on the amount of APY that is being given out because you have to realize that everybody that is receiving these, the only way that they're getting these on top of the liquidity they're getting from the liquidity pool. So when they harvest it, a lot of people actually dump that harvest of APY into the actual where the actual liquidity is. I'm actually experiencing this right now with a coin I like a lot on good old Ethereum. That it's a great coin, has a great utility, and the price keeps going down and down and down because of this liquidity farming. But it's getting more people, getting more in the hands of more people, but it's really pushing the price down.
Which coin, may I ask?
Shillas.
I'm not going to chill it, but yeah,
Damn.
this is something that happens, and it's actually a known thing that, I know what you're talking about with Uniswap. Uniswap is also Uniswap, but many chains that do the liquidity farming, it does actually push the price down for, however long they do it, but it is a good thing because it creates more liquidity so that doesn't drive the price down. But it does actually it nudges it down little by little over the time that they're giving the extra APY.
Oh,
It's a
totally
trade-off,
agree.
right?
And it takes time for it to, like Chris says, like stabilize. But it will help it make, Algorand as a whole be more liquid. And I'm all about that. And keeping it on the
It's a
network.
very good thing, to be very clear. It's very good that this is actually functionality. Do you know when they're going to release it?
It's within 2 weeks, Seb said. They're just waiting for Halibert, I'm sorry, to finish auditing the contracts.
Cool.
I think it's a good thing. The legit projects on Algorand, we want a long-term view, right? Like we don't necessarily, as investors, want each token to immediately shoot up to the moon. And there's been criticisms also of Smilecoin that and I made a video about them this week. I mentioned it, and it's just too early to be calling stuff rugs or, bad tokenomics. It's this project's not even out yet. The token's been out for a month. We got to have patience and faith in these builders who are really trying to disrupt industries. And if you want to do it in an equitable way and a balanced way, usually the token cannot immediately go up. I mean, even look at the Algorand price, right? Like it originally just dumped, right? And like you could, I'm sure, and there were a lot of people saying that was a rug pull when Algorand first came out, right? And now look at it. So, you know, you got to take these early days with a grain of salt in the big projects.
Yeah, I underestimated those Smilecoin guys a lot. I think I've interviewed them 3 times now, and the first time I met them, I was like, these dudes, I don't know, right? They seem kind of like slackers. They were just kind of in it. I thought maybe for a quick buck or something, but I don't know. Lo and behold, several months later, they got a feasible project. And morality of what their project is aside, like they've actually executed on quite a bit more than I thought they would. And some of these projects are on Yieldly. I don't know if I'm the only one that didn't realize how big ARK was, but ARK's market cap is like almost damn near like $6 billion or something. I just saw. I was shocked at how big they were. Did anybody else realize how big ARK was?
Yeah, ARK is a huge project, big idea, big huge idea. Maybe like the most large scale idea that like maybe on Algorand right now that could like has potential to reach the most people, like billions of people, but it's going to be quite difficult for them. I think that market cap is fully diluted. That's like the fully diluted cap. I don't think they actually have $6 billion of like TVL in their protocol, or else that would be reflected in the Algorand market cap itself.
Yeah.
What is ARK?
ARK is this project called Asia Reserve Currency Coin, started by this guy David St. John.
Okay, David's got it.
Yeah, and if for anyone else in this call who doesn't know, basically the point of it is he's trying to liberate places in Southeast Asia with very weak or non-existent government infrastructure, or corruption in government, by getting citizens there to take a daily survey of something simple like does your commute have traffic? Is there garbage in your neighborhood? Something like that. And they get a little bit of a payout of this token, and then they can use on the micro equity stock exchange or something. Like they can buy micro shares of stocks or cryptos, use it as a savings account, and cash out 2% per month. I believe he updated the number. So interesting project, a big idea, and it's unclear if it's going to be executable, but I think that's the kind of project I think is very compelling use of blockchain technology.
Yeah, we'll see if the end justifies the means. I think in the years to come. I was shocked at his underlying assets. So he mentioned that he's got $5, US dollar, reserve behind every coin that's out in the wild right now, which was amazing.
You said $5 or 5 million?
$5 per coin reserve. His reserves are basically 5 times what the coin is worth right now, 5.5 times or something like that. No, 500
of each
times,
Algorand coin?
something like that. It's ridiculous. No, for each ARK coin that's released right now, he's got $5 US dollars worth of reserve backing it, and the coin itself is only worth what, like 6 pennies or something, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't heard about that. I know they have like $16 million of Yieldly, a bunch of Algo, and a bunch of other early Algo projects tokens that they're using as backing. It's pretty, it's commendable that they're taking a stake in the Algorand ecosystem to back their own project. But I didn't know they had $5 of value backing each ARK coin. It's pretty big.
He has a pretty big treasury, like a really big treasury.
It's an interesting project for sure. They also have a 60-year, I think a 60-year distribution plan for the token. So I think his big idea is that he actually wants to create a new currency in the region of Southeast Asia, but I think it's going to be quite difficult over time. Eventually the coin will reach the attention of government authorities, and I'm sure they won't be too pleased about a startup trying to subvert their entire currency system and like replace it with a crypto.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants to do. He wants to make a regional currency so they can make cross-border payments and make trade as easy as possible, and not have to worry about some of their crazy inflationary activities.
Not to mention the centralization of their digital yuan that's coming, like in China and stuff. No telling where they could restrict payments and
So
money
is it
movement.
kind of the Bitcoin philosophy, but on Algorand?
Yeah, if you look at the original Satoshi white paper, I mean, he definitely took some pointers from that, no doubt about it.
I think, Jeff, it's like it has a Bitcoin vibe to it of like, you want to distribute it and create a new system, a new currency, but it's taken the idea and amped it up to 11 with whole systems for earning it that don't have to do with mining. They're actually, you earn it by just living your life and taking a survey, providing some data, which then can be used to find out more information about the region and pinpoint where in the region and what parts of the infrastructure need to be addressed to be improved.
Very interesting
So I think it's
philosophy.
just,
I listened to a podcast about him a bit. I'm going to look more into it.
Yeah, it's definitely it's controversial, I think, a little bit because he calls it what the social proof of work or something like that, which sounds very
yeah,
big brothery.
it does, and that's when I made a video about them, I questioned that in the video, and it's still a question I have to this day. They're taking this data. Who are they giving it to? Who are they selling it to? Who's using it? We don't want another Facebook to be created using Algorand. He responded to that in the comments of my video and said, I could probably pull it up, and I can link it. But he said that they're going to be transparent about like who they sell the data to, and also the data will be anonymous. But the coin will also require KYC, so they're going to have to come up with some way to make the data encrypted or the identity encrypted after sending it or after linking the original algo wallet. So like I said, there's just so many things they have to iron out with this project before they can even bring it to the public market. But they do already have a few. It already is public, actually. There's a few thousand people using it right now. I think about like 6,000 people. But they want to scale it to what, like billions. So it's minute for what the vision is. So it's about 2:25. Does anyone have any closing things they want to chat about before we wrap it up?
NFT Jam, Nick is putting the final touches on everything. He actually implemented the royalties, opt-in royalties for the auctions, I think yesterday or this morning. So it's about to actually hit mainnet very soon.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So that'll be pretty cool.
Excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of extra features. He's been only one guy working on it part-time, so that's why it's been taking a while. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for him to finally launch that.
If anybody's going to Decipher and wants to do a t-shirt or a hoodie swap, I will bring extras with me, and we can swap some swag. The only thing is, then you got to hop on an interview with me so I can wear your shirt and you can wear mine.
Is that what I got to do to finally get to be on an interview with you?
That's what you got to do.
All right.
You didn't even reply back to my email. I sent you an email. I think I sent you like 2 emails, and I sent you a shirt. Did you not get the shirt?
No.
Wow, Chris.
Awkward.
Wow, man.
You know what? I'm actually hurt because we actually have a meeting already set up for an interview this week, and you don't even remember.
All right. Crypto Nerd Queen, she set it up for us, huh? She's not even here anymore.
Yeah, so you take all of those mean things back.
I feel like Missy Elliott.
Wait, hold on. Bilal just joined in. Bilal, can you give us an update on in Nigeria, like what's going on over there if you can? Can you join in as a speaker?
I really hope you armed yourself.
Yeah,
I thought my mic was off. Sorry.
Sounds like
he was in some sketchy areas there.
Yeah, he made a few tweets about like having to be locked in the hotel. There's like a riot going on or something. I don't even know. Maybe he doesn't have good enough internet to join in, but Yeah, Bilal, for anyone just who's listening, Bilal has been in Nigeria. Oh, here he is. Bilal, you want to chime in? What's going on in Nigeria with Authentium?
Hi, can you hear me, guys?
Yep.
Loud and clear.
Cool. Yeah, my connection was on and off, so I couldn't really talk. I was just trying to listen at the end, but yeah, thank you for having me. How are you doing?
We're good, man. We talked about the Tiny Man coins. We talked about Opulus, Decipher, NFT, and NYC. A bunch of different cool stuff on this call. Just wondering what's going on with Authentium and Fame in Nigeria.
Yeah, I missed out a lot. Yeah, here we have. Actually, I was also talking with farmers just now, and with another app that works in Africa called Tingo. I don't know if you heard of Tingo. I just finished with him, and yeah, here what happens is basically now we have 6 hubs in Nigeria. So by hub I mean unions of farmers with a leader that can understand blockchain. So I've been teaching him how the Authentium app works, and he can help the farmers that are not connected to sell their products, and otherwise the farmers can subscribe themselves with the app. Yeah, and it's rolling. We are sending the products, so you will have some news that Shiel will present himself around Australia and Asia, and yeah, it's going pretty fast actually, and the partnerships are coming. The more we talk about Authentium, the more people contact me, so I'm very happy with it. Yeah, and the Fame app, like we have, I'm very happy to have the Fame app already functioning now. It's basically a social app. Now it's obviously centralized at the beginning, but the plan is to decentralize as much as possible. For the farmers first, the farmer will be able to communicate within themselves to have a voting system in it, but it's not yet implemented. So they can form unions to defend their rights against the other parties. Oh, wait, sorry, someone's knocking at the door.
You got to go? Oh, knocking at the door.
Hey,
Sorry,
Bilal,
yes.
I got a question.
Thank you very much again. Take care. Oh, sorry. It was actually the
All good.
ambassador that forgot his bag here in the meeting.
So with the Authentium app, how is it going to work? Can you give us like a breakdown of how is it going to affect a farmer's day to day?
Basically, what people need to understand is that the middlemen, namely the distributors, have been taking the whole pie. And to give you an example, like one farmer here, he told me he sells 1 ton of cassava, $100 to his local distributor. The local distributor sells it to another distributor. It goes to the port. The port, when they arrive to the Lagos port, it's the huge companies like the French one, the American one, etc. They buy it for very cheap. But that ton, when that ton hits the market in Paris, it's 10,000 euros. So this margin is insane, and this margin can probably let some space for the farmer to earn more, and for the farmers to be able to pay their workers a little bit more, because now what you see, farmers getting paid so low, so their workers are what we call the real misery in the world, the proper misery. And yesterday I was there. I saw the people just sleeping on the ground, not like literally eating nuts all day, not even having access to water. There is no borehole in a land of 800 hectares. I was walking, like, it's insane. So the misery starts with the farmer not being paid and the workers not being paid properly. So to fight misery, basically, you just need to disrupt the system, to find a way to bring the product at a better price to rich countries from poor countries. That's all we need, and that's what I'm working on.
So the farmer is making 1% of the final sale of what it would be worth when it reaches Europe or America.
Exactly.
$100 to 10,000.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you can see how it would be very difficult for a farmer to distribute good wages to their workers because they'll be left with almost nothing themselves.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
not even business. It's just evil. Like, it's not like Phil is more moderate than me, but for me, it's just what this world has as the most evil thing. How can you let the people who feed us starve? That's basically what's going on today, and we don't even know what we eat. Right now, I'm eating some rice, and I'm so happy because I know exactly the field. I was visiting the field yesterday. I know exactly where it comes from. But usually we really have no idea what we're eating, where it comes from, who is the farmer, where is the farm. So we want to change that and to make the farm famous, basically. That's why we're partner too, because I want to focus on small farmer to help them. And yeah, so it's basically the whole way we live and we eat that is completely insane today, and maybe we can change that.
Yeah, man, it's a really great idea. It's necessary as well. So I'm glad that it's a productive visit over there.
And yeah, thank you.
Hello, everybody. Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. Did
Go
you want to
ahead,
say
man.
something, Daddy Yo?
Yeah. Okay, I was listening to Bilal speak, and it was very it's kind of personal to me because I'm from Nigeria, and I'm also in France now, so I'm studying for a master. But most of all, like, I've been very interested in like Algorand because I've seen some of the new stuff that has been done in the ecosystem and everything. So I would really like to get invested in Bilal's project if you will have me. I'd like to connect with you and just find out what you guys are doing, because I'm very interested in, even though like professionally I've not been in the blockchain ecosystem professionally. It's what I want to do beyond my master and beyond school and everything. So I would really like to get to know what you guys are doing and contribute in any way possible.
Thank you, Daddy Yo. Where are you from in Nigeria? Which city?
From Imo, Owerri, in the east.
Where exactly?
Owerri, Imo State, in the east.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't go to the east because it's too dangerous right now.
Yeah. You're in Lagos?
Yeah, no, I was in Lagos, Akure, Abuja, and now I am in Jalingo.
Oh, wow. Taraba.
Yeah, if you follow my Twitter, you will see the links to the Telegram channel. We have a Telegram channel called Nigerian Farmer. That's a small group, but I share news there. And you can connect, and you can probably, if you want to, if you live in France, you can probably become an ambassador.
Oh, okay. I'd love to, because I really want to get invested in like blockchain, because I know the amount of
Just DM me, just send me a DM.
Okay, sure. All right, thank you.
I think we ran the gamut today. Everything from meme coins to solving, possibly world hunger, right? Like, isn't it amazing the breadth and width of blockchain? Like, just everything that can be done with it, and specifically on Algorand.
That's why we're doing this.
Right. Quite incredible. Quite incredible.
Hi, Bilal, I got a question for you.
So,
what's the best way to support the project for Authentium?
We will be releasing soon, but for now, what I have to do is to build an army of ambassadors globally. So for the people who are really interested into helping their farmers locally, in the US, anywhere, every country, we will have two kind of ambassadors. The national one, which needs to be a little bit of an academic to study, to have a global view on his country and to get connected to the distributors. And the second type is more the local ambassador that is locally in touch with a good network of farmers. If it's not possible to be any of the two, we will have like ambassadors, online ambassadors, if you will, like people that can just spread the words, etc. And we have an Authentium channel that is already pretty big because the Asian people were first, so it's already known in the Asian part and Australian part. Authentium official on Telegram, and you have the marketing team. You're connected there to the marketing team directly.
So yeah, check them out on social medias, Twitter, Telegram, and if you're on the ground in one of these nations with farmers, yeah, hit up Bilal. Yeah, so with that being said, I think this has been a great call. Any last words from anyone?
I'm good. I'm going to be back in my saddle next week, so hopefully I'll be making some more good news noise about things should be happening.
Yeah, next week I will be ready, and yeah, ready next week from France. Much easier than here. No VPN needed.
I'm also excited to meet all you degenerates at Decipher, and let the good times roll, guys. Just the beginning.
Yeah. So if you're new to the space, be sure to follow everyone who is a speaker or who looks interesting in the call. And if you've been here before, tell someone you know about Algorand, tell them about Tiny Man, and help spread the word because it's growing so fast. All right. So that being said, thanks everyone for pulling up. And I think we're ready to call it a day. So keep an eye out on the social medias for news coming up. For news coming up this week. We should have a bunch of Algorand announcements coming up in the next few weeks leading up to Decipher, I'm sure. So yeah, and don't lose your whole bag on a shitcoin on Tiny Man.
Or just make your whole bag on the shitcoin on Tiny Man. I'm just kidding. Don't.
Not financial advice. Do your own research.
Yeah.
Enough out of you, Jordan.
How about that Akita, guys? Come on now.
Let's go, Akita. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop, everyone. Stop. All right. See you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
No.
Bye,
Akita's
y'all.
doing great, guys.
Yeah, it is. It is. Akita might become legit because it just has such a big market
look
cap
at the
now.
market cap. Look how much is in the pool. For some reason, this might actually be a thing.
It could.
I mean, assuming they don't actually destroy it by rugging it, basically.
Well, there's one wallet holding 150 million tokens, and so there's a big concern. But the guy that's holding it says it's for the next airdrop that's happening tomorrow. So we're gonna let it ride.
Because there's there's 400,000 liquidity right now.
Yeah, but we'll have to check that airdrop because who says he's not making tons of wallets and sending it to himself?
100%. Now there's people in the Discord that said that they've checked and verified everything, that there's no shady things, but I mean, I personally haven't done it, so I don't know.
Did they say that? They say no, sir. Of course, we fully checked.
No, it was a anonymous, some random dude on the Discord that posted different wallets and stuff. So it looked legit to me. I don't know.
If Solana can get away with lying about how many coins they got, I'm pretty sure Akita can too, or whatever it is.
Yeah, that was
a pretty big increase. That was pretty crazy.
All right, so see you all next week.
Yep.
There, guys.
All right.
Have a good one.
Have a great week. Great Sunday.